So before I tell you why do you do it, let me tell you everything I do has a backstory. Pulling oil also has a backstory. So when I went in back in 2012 to the yoga ashram, I actually had gone to a dentist and one of my own tooth was really in a bad situation. He gave me antibiotics, told me, come back and I'll do a root canal on you. I said, root canal? I'm like less than 40, I'm going to lose a tooth. And in the meanwhile, I had already booked my reservation to be in that yoga ashram. While I was there, I told the main acharya there, I have a tooth condition that could flare up and I would have to go back to the city and get into some fixing up to be done, maybe get a root canal done. He says, wait, let me put you on oil pulling regimen and see if that helps you. I said, okay. I didn't know what the oil pulling was. I started oil pulling. He gave me a decoction. It was much more difficult than what it is today. It's been 12 plus years since then. I did not get a root canal done. So that says a lot to you that it actually is an amazing thing if you actually follow the entire regimen. It is not a singular thing where you just do oil pulling and you'll be fixed with all your problems. No. It is something that has to be done in regimen. It's an extended part of your brushing, flossing, rinsing part. It's the fourth and the fifth part. And the most important part, apart from oil pulling, that I learned in Ayurveda was tongue scraping. Tongue scraping that you might think is a simple scrape of the tongue. No. Because whenever you brush your teeth, you actually brush your teeth and gums. So you take off the gunk from there, but you forget your tongue, and half of the gunk is lying on the tongue. So if you don't clean it up, it's like it moves back on your teeth and gums. So it's almost like you did half the job because half the gunk is back on your teeth and gums. Now, if you tongue scrape, a lot of people here started brushing their tongue. I don't think it's like moving the material from here to there to here. Versus when you tongue scrape, you're actually removing the entire debris, entire plaque that is sitting on your tongue out. And that one simple thing can get you started into a healthy life because your digestive system doesn't start in your gut, it starts on your mouth. Once you have better saliva formation, once you have a clean tongue, once you have a good, healthy microbiome in the mouth, that means that will translate it all the way till your gut. Because a lot of people are taking prebiotics, probiotics right now, everything. And why are they doing all this? Because they are using alcohol mouthwash in the morning. And what that does is it not only kills the bad bacteria, it also kills the good bacteria. 98% of the mouth bacteria are good causing oral dysbiosis, which means imbalance of the microbiome of your mouth, which ultimately means there is less NO2 production. What is NO2? NO2 was a molecule that was invented back in early 2000, so lately, and the guy I think got a Nobel Prize for it. And the reason this was so important of a molecule, it's one of the most important molecules in the body because this NO2 is the one that is responsible for causing the dilation of our blood vessels. There was a study recently done where healthy patients, when they did mouthwash, which was alcohol mouthwash or chlorhexidine mouthwash, which kind of kills entire microbiome, which also says 99.9% bacteria kill. When they did that versus people who did placebo, they saw that the difference in their blood pressure was unbelievable. They were, and also the similar class of people actually had a raised blood pressure by about anywhere from 10 to 25 points. And the reason is because the NO2 production is gone. Now, there's also another study which shows that if you actually tongue scrape every day, so your NO2 production in your mouth, in your body increases because there is a system in our body. There's a system where NO2 converting molecules, the molecules that convert the nitrates that you eat. So nitrates are like things like beet. Beet has a lot of nitrates. Watermelon has a lot of nitrates. Spinach has a lot of nitrates. So nitrates that you eat actually get converted through a specific pathway. That pathway is damaged. The bacteria that are actually your friends, they're gone. So if you tongue scrape, you actually somehow populate them. Another amazing way to populate them is by humming. So there is a yogic kriya, and a lot of times when you go to a yoga master, he'll tell you, by the way, I'm also a trained yoga person. Whenever you go to a yoga master, they tell you to do a humming technique where it's called bee's breath. You can Google it or see it on YouTube. Bee's breath is when you deep breathe in, and when you breathe out, you're kind of closing your senses and breathing out. When you actually breathe out, so you actually see that your nasal sinuses area are actually getting all those extra NO2 production being done. There's a lot of study already on it that is being performed. There are big podcasters like Andrew Huberman and Peter Attia and all these people, and Brian Nathan. These people have been talking about how NO2 is a key precursor for high blood pressure, and how in yoga, when you go to a yoga master, you tell him, I've got high blood pressure. He says, start doing this yogic technique for next 10 days and come and see me and do it for half hour every day. Start 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then 10 days later or 20 days later, the person is already starting to see his blood pressure become better. The reason is because that NO2 production that is done because of the humming technique helps. Tongue scraping helps. Simple things, big help. That is the beauty of Ayurveda and yoga. A lot of these studies did not have a science backing, or maybe written scriptures, which were probably destroyed because India was attacked so many times by so many foreign entities. So all these scriptures were probably destroyed, or even if they are there, they did not have that chronological science back, Harvard, Stanford kind of backing or systems that can show you that. There's a lot of anecdotal evidences, and these anecdotal evidences are now finding roots as the studies are being conducted in Harvard and Stanford and these kind of big universities that are getting more and more keenly interested in this ancient civilization that has survived ages and that has actually thrived for ages. That is what I want to do. I want to bridge the gap, bring all that knowledge that is still not here in full, or it is being diluted. I want to bring it pure and natural right here. People, especially living in the interiors of America, people who do not have access, or who probably will never visit India, or who probably will never visit China, or probably will never visit all these ancient civilizations, they can have the benefit sitting at their homes and make sure they are also assured that there is a person that they can talk to. I go live almost every week. They can talk to me directly. That is what I wanted to do. Give them access to somebody who actually can be the person in between, the carrier of that knowledge that is there to them right in their homes in Nebraska or Montana or Wyoming. So that is what I want to do.